Welcome to my channel, The Stoic Way. You ever sit with a woman across from you? Maybe in a quiet cafe, maybe on a walk, maybe late at night when conversation starts to stretch into something warmer. And you feel that moment, that opening, that tiny shift in the air, when you could ask her something that would pull her deeper into the moment with you. You could ask her something ordinary, something predictable, something every man before you has asked. But if you choose differently, if you ask a question that reaches her mind instead of her surface, everything changes. The atmosphere shifts, her guard lowers, her voice softens, she leans forward instead of away. That is the power of the right question at the right moment. Because women don't fall for the loudest man or the most dramatic one. They fall for the man who makes them think. They fall for the man who listens not to reply, but to understand. They fall for the man who doesn't race to fill the silence, but sits calmly inside it. Confident, steady, unmost men rush. Most men talk fast, brag, self-promote, perform. But presence is not performance. Presence is awareness, and awareness is built through questions that open her world rather than confine it. When you ask the right question, she doesn't just answer it. She breathes into it. She unwraps memories. She reveals thoughts she has never spoken aloud. She lets you see the parts of her she protects from ordinary men. That is where connection lives. Not in flirt lines, not in compliments, not in showing off, but in curiosity. Genuine, patient curiosity. The kind that says, I want to know you, not impress you. I want to understand, not control. I want to meet your mind, not just tonight. I'm going to give you questions she'll love answering, questions she will think about long after the conversation ends, questions that open her imagination, her nostalgia, her unsaid desires, questions that build intimacy without force, attraction without pressure, connection without performing. These are not shallow small talk questions. They are windows, gateways, invitations into who she really is. And if you learn to ask them with calm confidence, with silence after the question, with attention that doesn't wander, you may see something rare happen. She will begin to unfold. She will begin to trust. She will begin to feel something for you that she cannot easily label, but she cannot ignore. That is the quiet pull of a man who knows how to ask the right question. Before we begin, understand this clearly. Asking good questions is an art. Anyone can talk, but very few know how to ask in a way that makes her inner world open. A shallow man asks what she does. A thoughtful man asks who she is. One stays on the surface. The other reaches the core. And women feel that difference instantly. Think about how most conversations usually unfold. He asks where she's from. She answers. He asks what she does for work. She answers. He asks about her hobbies. She answers. The rhythm is dull, predictable, mechanical. There's no spark, no energy, no moment of ignition. She could answer all of it while scrolling her phone, her mind completely elsewhere. The truth is, most men never move past the surface level, not because she lacks depth, but because they never create the space or emotional stimulation needed for her depth to emerge. But when a man arrives who listens to understand, not to impress, something shifts. Her walls begin to soften. When she feels seen instead of evaluated, she warms. When she feels understood instead of judged, she opens. She stops speaking out of politeness and starts speaking with pleasure. She enjoys the conversation because it no longer feels like an interview. It becomes connection. It becomes discovery. It becomes two inner worlds meeting, not one trying to dominate the other. Women don't love questions simply because they are questions. They love them because they offer emotional release, because they give voice to thoughts she's carried silently, because they allow her to feel alive in the presence of someone who is truly paying attention. When you ask the right way, you're not just filling silence, you're unlocking something. So as you listen to this video, don't memorize these questions like scripted lines. Feel them. Understand why they work. Understand the psychology beneath them. Ask them with stillness, with warmth, presence. Then let her answer fully. Let silence breathe. Let her words linger. Let the conversation wander. When you do this right, she doesn't just answer your question. She invests in the moment. She invests in you. Now let's begin the best questions to ask women. The question she doesn't just answer, but loves answering. Question 1. What's one moment in your life you wish you could relive exactly as it was? This question hits deeper than asking about her favorite memory. It asks not only what she remembers, but what she desires to feel again. When she answers, you'll learn what joy means to her. You'll hear who she was before the world hardened her. You might feel nostalgia in her voice as she describes those seconds she still carries like a gift. Every detail she gives you is a thread, and if you listen without interrupting, she'll keep pulling it. She will reveal her childhood innocence, her teenage rebellion, her early dreams, and somewhere in that moment, she will feel safe because someone finally asked about her heart, not her status. Question 2. What is something about you most people completely overlook? Every woman has qualities she hopes someone will notice without being told. Maybe she's resilient, maybe she's gentle, maybe she thinks deeply but speaks softly, so she is often underestimated. When you ask this, you give her room to show you the parts of herself she hides. You give her a chance to be known. She might laugh shilly before speaking or look down before her eyes meet yours. Again, pay attention to that shift. It means the question entered her, and when she finishes, offer silence. Let her realize you listened. Question 3. What's a dream you haven't told many people? This is where she lets you into her future, not just her past. You're not just asking what she did, but what she wants. Every dream she shares carries vulnerability because dreams expose desire. Some women hide their dreams because they fear judgment, failure, or disappointment, but if you ask, may tell you anyway. And if you respond with encouragement instead of advice, she will feel something powerful, supported, not analyzed, not corrected, supported. Question 4. What kind of love makes you feel safe? This question goes beyond flirting. It goes into emotional language, attachment style, childhood, patterns, and unspoken wounds. She may take longer to answer because you're asking her to speak about comfort, trust, and fear. You're inviting her to define what love looks like to her. Not passion, not excitement, safety. Women do not fall for men who excite them temporarily. They fall for men who make them feel. If she answers this openly, you are no longer a stranger in her mind. Question 5. What's a flaw you're learning to accept about yourself? Depth lives here, honesty lives here, growth lives here. Most men avoid vulnerability, but this question normalizes it. She might talk about insecurity, body image, emotional habits, or fear of failure. She might speak slowly, carefully, as if evaluating whether you can handle this part of her. Do not try to fix it. A woman does not want solutions first. She wants empathy first. If you say, "I understand more than I think you realize," she will feel seen. And feeling seen is more seductive than any compliment ever spoken. Question 6. What do you value most in a person? Her answer reveals her moral compass. Some women value honesty, some value ambition, some value humor, some value patience, some value presence. This question doesn't just show what she likes, it reveals who she chooses. Because when a woman chooses someone, her values guide her attraction far more than her preferences. And if your presence aligns with her values, attraction builds quietly but powerfully. Question 7. When in your life have you felt the most alive? This question awakens emotion. It pulls her into memory so vivid she can almost taste it. Maybe she'll talk about travel, waves hitting her legs, cities full of strangers and color. Maybe she'll talk about moments she took risks, moments she was scared but brave. Anyway, when she speaks, her voice will shift. You'll hear energy, excitement, passion. These moments are glimpses into the fire inside her. If you match her energy with curiosity, the conversation will not just continue, it will elevate. Question 8. What's something you're still curious to learn about yourself? This is the doorway to intimacy because curiosity is unfinished growth. When she answers, she is letting you walk beside her into the parts of herself she hasn't explored yet. And a man who can walk into mystery without fear becomes memorable. She will leave thinking not about the answers she gave you, but about how different it felt to speak them aloud. You didn't just ask questions, you unlocked her. If you made it this far, then you're not like most men. You're not looking for lines to impress her. You're looking for understanding. You're looking for depth. You're looking for connection that doesn't fade by morning. That alone already makes you dangerous in a world full of surface-level attention seekers. Because when you speak from curiosity instead of ego, women notice. When you ask from depth instead of insecurity, women open. When you listen without trying to control the moment, she feels safe, and safety is what builds desire. Do not rush to use all 8 questions in one night. True connection is not built with force, it is built with patience. Choose one question. Observe how she answers, watch her body language, listen to her pauses more than her words. Silence is where truth lives. Stillness is where attraction grows. And if you can hold stillness, you can hold her attention without effort. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be clever. You just need to be present. Women fall for presence, for calm, for curiosity. These questions are tools, but you are the difference. The tone you speak with, the way you hold eye contact without strain, the softness in your voice, the strength in your posture, the patience in your silence, all of this shapes she experiences you. And if you want to go deeper, if you want to learn not just what to ask, but how to read her responses, how to feel her attraction before she says it, how to tell when she wants more, then the next video is waiting for you. Because questions build connection, but understanding signals builds attraction. And there are signs she gives when she's drawn to you. Small signs, subtle glances, micro expressions, breath patterns, tone shifts that most men never see. The next video will show you those signs clearly. No guessing, no confusion, no overthinking. You will know what she feels without her needing to confess it. You will recognize when she wants you close. You will sense when she's nervous because she cares. You will feel when she's interested, even if she hides it behind composure. Thanks for watching. If you found like this video, please press the bell icon and subscribe to my channel, The Stoic Way. Thank you.